When sharpening a pencil for drawing, it's convenient to use like a little handheld pencil sharpener, or you can have an electric pencil sharpener, whatever. But the same kinds of pencil sharpeners that you use to sharpen pencils don't work well when you're using these charcoal pencils. Okay, so the difference between the graphite core and the charcoal core is that the charcoal core is much softer. Just as in graphite pencils, you have these different grades. So you can see that there's the 6B, which is extra soft, the 4B, which is soft, the 2B, which is medium, and then you have the HB, which is hard, and then there's also an extra hard one that I don't have. What we're going to be using primarily for our charcoal portraits is this medium charcoal. You can get one of each of these if you want to see how they work, and it is convenient to draw some things with these variety of grades, but for our purposes I think the medium pencil, and to save money on your materials list, you can pick up 1 or 2 medium charcoal pencils. To sharpen the charcoal pencil, you want to use an X-Acto blade over a trash can or a piece of paper or something, because charcoal is very messy. So the tip on this charcoal, it looks sharp, right? But it's actually kind of blunt, and it's more abrupt. The best way to use the charcoal is to sharpen the casing to a long, sharp tip. And if you just look at the method for sharpening, I'm using kind of an extreme angle, and I'm having to be just a little bit more gentle but vigorous on the wood casing. And then once I expose the core, you want to be a lot more gentle. So you see that change in contour right there? I know it doesn't seem like it makes a big difference, but it's actually kind of hard to see around that when you're doing really fine details. So you want to sharpen this to a long, sharp tip. And so you're going to just be very delicate and carve away the charcoal until you get to kind of a long, beveled, sharp tip. Once you get to this point, you want to switch over to your sanding block. So the sanding block, brand new, looks like it's in a package like this. It's called sandpaper, and obviously you can just buy a piece of sandpaper from Home Depot or use what you have laying around. So the open version is just a bunch of sandpaper that's stapled to a board, right? And this is how you will get your pencil to an even sharper tip. And look at my technique, how I'm gently pulling back and rolling as I go. So see the difference in these different tips? This one is nice and sharp, and it has a long tapered edge. This one had a long tapered edge, but now it's a blunt edge, right? And this one is just a blunt edge, and it's rounded at the top. And the same thing with this one. You've got like this fat, quick bevel, right? So when you go to draw details and you have a fat, quick bevel, you actually can't see around this area right here. It's harder to see around this area and see exactly where your tip is located. So it's easier to see, right? You can see exactly where your tip is at.